Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Austin Hancock, and today we're gonna talk a little bit more real estate. But what we're talking about today is we're talking about BRRRR. What is the BRRRR model? You guys have maybe heard this, and if you haven't heard this, you're in luck. We're getting ready to walk through it. So let's jump right into it. I don't wanna waste a bunch of your time, but hey, guess what guys? What would really help us out is hit the link below, join our school community, or just hit the subscribe button, like this video, make a comment. If you guys want us to put different types of videos out there, make sure you mention which one's below, and we're happy to do it. So let's jump right into this. What is BRRRR? You guys may have heard this term, but we're gonna start with buy, right? Buy a property. This is specific to single family real estate, okay? Now, I say it's the single family real estate, but you could also do this with commercial property. There's just gonna be a little bit of a difference. But in this specific scenario, we're talking about single family real estate. Do not know what single family real estate means? It's the houses that you live in. It's the most generic house you live in. It's not the multifamily. It's not the apartment complex. It's the houses you see out the families live in. Single family, one family, right? At the very beginning, buying a property, purchasing it, this is a property that needs fixed up. That's why our next one is rehab. So we're gonna purchase a fixer-upper property. Where can we find those properties? Well, we can buy those properties from wholesalers, real estate agents. We can look online at Zillow, start networking with people in communities, join Facebook groups, start reaching out and say, hey guys, I'm looking to buy a property that needs some work. There will be people that come out of the woodwork on your Facebook, on your social media that want to sell you these properties. Why do they want to sell them to you? They make money, no brainer. Finding a property that we need to add value to, we need to rehab it, it needs fixed up. If you guys want to learn more about exactly how to buy these, click the link below in the school community and I'll show you and I'll spend much more time with you on how to buy these correctly to make sure you don't lose. But today we're specifically talking about BRRRR. Buy the property. We're going to rehab the property. Why are we going to rehab the property? One, because it was crappy, and two, because we're going to add value to it. So we're able to buy it at a deep discount because it's a piece of junk. So let's say all the houses around the area that are new and nice, or not necessarily new, but are nicer and have been rehabbed are worth $100,000. We're gonna be looking for this property around the $50,000, $60,000 mark because it needs work, right? So we're gonna buy it. We're gonna rehab it with our construction team. They're gonna come out, they're gonna make it like the others that are already rehabbed. We're gonna make it to standard, okay? We're gonna make it to match the other ones. And we've added value by doing so. We've forced the value of the property to go from where it was because we purchased it cheap because it was a piece of junk to a lot higher price. And we've created a gap in between what we owe the banks and what the property's worth. Hey, what's up guys? Austin Hancock here. I get a lot of messages asking for some help in some capacity, whether it's financial, fitness, mindset, something to make your life better, something to make it to where you can go from this point right here, where you are now, to the dream life that you've always wanted to be living. Shoot me a text or give me a call, 405-697-4072. The number's right here, 405-697-4072. Call or text the number and let's change your life. Now, going back to the buy side, you say, how would I buy these properties? How would I finance these properties? There's multiple ways to do it, and I'm gonna give you some high-level tools to do so. You can purchase this. In this specific scenario, you could purchase it with cash. Maybe you have some extra cash laying around. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're like, Austin, you're crazy. Nobody's got that kind of money laying around. Maybe you need a loan. Well, you can use a commercial loan. You can go to your local lender, a small lender, or credit union and get a commercial loan, get a fix and flip commercial loan. Or you can go to a hard money lender. A hard money lender is going to fund these deals, and typically they're going to fund up to 90% of the purchase price of the piece of junk and 100% of the rehab. So in this scenario, we're going to pretend like we're using hard money. And we purchased the property only having to put 10% of the purchase price down. So we were into it for a decently low amount of money, right? And we're gonna rehab it. We just talked about the hard money lender is going to provide us with 100% of the financing on the rehab as well. And they're gonna usually supply that by doing draws. So you'll have draw requests, meaning that you want the money to fix the property in phases, right? So when the guy does the floors, when the guy does the paint, when the construction company does all these little things, they're gonna send you an invoice, and then you're gonna request a draw from your bank and say, hey, banker, hey, hard money lender, I finished those things. I'm ready to pay my contractors. They're gonna send somebody out to take a look at it. They're gonna say, yep, you sure have. Here's the 10,000, here's the 5,000 that we owe you for that specific construction that you did. And then you're gonna pay your contractors. So now that we've bought it, now that we've rehabbed it, and this property we've skipped off and it's in perfect condition or it's ready to rent, we're gonna rent the property. In this scenario, we're keeping it because we wanna hold this as a rental. Now, if you guys wanted to flip the property, right now would be the time that you'd want to put it on the market for sale. What I like to do is the BRRRR model is good for a lot of things, and I'm going to tell you my personal opinion. We're gonna use this BRRRR model to where you have stages of it that you choose to do different things. So we call it multiple exit strategies, multiple ways to make money if the deal doesn't sell. If the deal doesn't sell as a flip, we're just gonna go through the process of continuing to keep it as a rental, and we're not gonna get hurt. Why? Because we ran our numbers in advance that it was gonna cash flow as a rental, meaning that the rents were gonna be higher than what we were gonna owe the bank for taxes, insurance, and maintenance. Okay, so now we're gonna rent the property. We're gonna advertise renting the property. How can we do that? We put it back on Facebook. We're gonna ad on Facebook. You can use softwares that help you do that. You can connect with Zillow to help you rent your property. You can reach out to local real estate agents that are gonna help you rent your property, or get somebody in there to start looking at the property in general. Once you have that tenant in the property, once the property's rented out, let's rewind. We bought it, we rehabbed it, we got a tenant in there. Angie, the local real estate agent, so sweet. She got somebody in the property. We have a lease signed. They're paying $1,500 a month. This is great. My payment's only $1,000. This is gonna be awesome. We're gonna skip back to another lender that's gonna supply us with a longer term loan. So remember, when we're buying over here in hard money, which is what we talked about earlier, those loans are typically only 12 months long. They're called a bridge loan or a construction loan, a fix it flip loan. Any of the above they can be called. And it's a short-term loan, it's a short-term debt. It's usually high interest rate, but low amount of money down. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go get long-term debt on it. So some lenders are gonna give you 20-year amortization. Some will give you 30, like you guys have or have heard more of with a traditional style mortgage. The longer loan you can get on it, as long as it's not a crazy adjustable mortgage or a crazy adjustable rate, is better. Why is that better? Because we're able to have a lower payment. The longer we stretch out how much we owe the bank, say we owe the bank $100,000. If we have to pay them back in 10 years, it's gonna be more expensive. If we have to pay them back in 20 years, it's gonna be less expensive. If we have to pay them back in 30, it's going to be even less expensive per month. But you're typically over that period of time gonna pay more in interest. But guess what? I know where you're thinking. We don't care that we're paying the bank more in interest, and why don't we care in this specific scenario? Because the tenants are paying down the property for us. Now, if you want to pay down the property faster and you want to have your tenants pay them down faster, and you can, the numbers work and you're not at a negative cash flow standpoint, then you can do shorter debt, and that's great. But a lot of times with higher interest rates like they are here in 2023 and 2024, you're going to need to have a longer loan in order to make sense. And so we're gonna refinance the property, meaning we're gonna go and pay off the old hard money loan debt. We're gonna get a new loan that says, hey, you can have a lower payment because it's over a longer period of time. Typically those interest rates are lower, and you can get what's called a DSCR. That's a debt service coverage ratio loan. And what that is that they're going to base their refinance, what they give you on the refinance, based on how much you make on rent and the appraisal of the property. Now, the beauty of this is it's based off of rent and the appraisal of the property. It's not based off of you, because a lot of times I get, Austin, I have to wait to get into real estate. I can't afford to get into real estate. My credit's bad, blah, blah, blah. This excuse, that excuse, this excuse, but it's false. Because when we bought with hard money, they're basing the loan on the property. When we refinance with a DSCR loan, they're basing the loan on how much cash flow it makes on the property. So therefore, they're not going and getting, your blood sample. It's not a traditional mortgage. They're not making you put down all of your tax returns. They're not making you bring them all of your financial statements. They're not checking your credit 52 times and making sure that you can get this loan. So this is where you guys can get started accumulating real estate, buying rental properties with little to no money into the deal. And if you fix them up correctly, if you've purchased them correctly, if you follow these processes and procedures, you can build a large portfolio and have a lot of wealth accumulated while people pay down your properties. This is also great for your taxes on deductions. We'll get into that in another video. We refinance the property, we put it on long-term debt, and now we're making money. We only pay the bank, and we pay principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and a little bit of maintenance, and we're all in for, let's say, $1,200. We rented the property out, it's $1,500. We're making $300 a month. We're skipping around. We're telling people that we're rich. Look at us, we're landlords, we're excited. But let me explain something to you what's very important. This is the very last R of BRRRR, and that's repeating the process. Because when you have one rental property and you have a maintenance call for $300 a month, it's a pain in the ass. When you have 100 rental properties and you have a property manager that's in-house, or you have a third-party property management company that's helping you with these, you have a multi-million-dollar business. And the things that we get out of this are not only cash flow. Cash flow is the least important, to be honest. It has to cash flow in order to make sense. But appreciation, meaning the properties go up in value over a period of time while we hold them. So you could bundle them, sell them in the future for a lot more than what you have into them. You get depreciation, meaning you're gonna have your accountant write off these properties as you accumulate them. So if you go make a lot of money somewhere else in W-2 or in your 1099 job or flipping a bunch of properties, which is what I show you guys, then you're gonna be able to write off all of that and you'll go back to a 0 tax bracket or a 0 on your taxes, okay? Depreciation, consult with your CPA on that one. There's so many things in real estate, but volume and learning how to scale this is very important because this isn't a fast race. This isn't a get rich quick plan. This is a get rich for sure plan. So over here, let's pretend you're flipping a property. Maybe it's 2 a year or 1 a year or 5 a year. And then over here, you're taking down 2 properties or 6 properties or 10 properties a year so that you're keeping them as rentals and building that portfolio up so that you're able to offset your tax burden of your capital gains from your other property that you're flipping and making money on. And you have these rental properties that are just slowly making money. People are going in and out. The value of them's going up and it scales. And that's why repeating the process is so important and it makes it much easier when you push past the threshold of 1 rental. I've met a lot of mom and pop landlords that do not like their life. They usually sell me property. And the reason that is because they have 2 Zs, they have 3 properties. They're very small-minded. Maybe Jerry, her husband, goes over there and fixes the property himself. That sounds like a freaking nightmare to me. And that is not what I show anybody. If you guys wanna learn how I've scaled to millions of dollars in assets very quickly, click the link below, join the school community, or reach out directly to us so that you can expedite your process. But that is the BRRRR process, and I guarantee every single one of you can do this, and every single one of you watching this video deserves to own multiple pieces of property that pay you and give you the life that you want by your design.